Okay, in this lecture, I want to give you a very different approach to working. Now, so far we have seen how by using different functions and formulas, we can do concatenation and split. In this lecture, I want to show you how you can completely avoid all that hassle by using something called flash fill. So the option for flash fill is available in the data tab, and it's this very small button that you see next to text to column. So you click on data and then you select flash fill. So flash fill says that it will automatically fill in the values. We give a couple of examples as the output, and the entire column will automatically get filled in depending on the sample output that we have given. Let us see how this works. Now we want to separate our first name and last name into different columns. So we can simply write one sample, which is James, and then Smith. I will come to B3 and press Control E. E for elephant. Remember, the shortcut for flash fill is Control E. When I press Control E, you notice the first name is separated and Control E and the last name is separated. Now you might be wondering that if we have this fantastic tool, why do we even need to learn formulas and functions? The reason is very simple. Flashfill is not dynamic, which means that tomorrow if one more name gets added, you notice that I will have to come back and press Control E once again, which means that we can't use it in a dynamic dashboard because otherwise the user will have to keep on refreshing Flashfill every time new records get added. Also, if you have used Flashfill and any change happens in the original data set, for example, this becomes James, let's say stones, you notice that the result doesn't change because Flashfill gives you the result, but it doesn't allow you to update the original value. Now I'll have to again come back, write James Control E and write the new surname and press Control E. So there is a lot of danger when you're working with Flashfill. You have to make sure that once you have used Flashfill, none of the existing records have got updated. But as long as you're aware of these limitations, Flashfill is a fantastic tool. It's very fast and is very, very powerful. Let's see some other examples. Even if you don't have any delimiter, you can simply use Control E and Smith and Control E, and it can separate first name and last name. Here we have an email ID or department, and then let's not keep two numbers, let's just keep one number. So I'll remove the last one. And let me remove the hyperlink as well. Excellent. Now let's say you wanted to find the name. We can simply write James Smith. And if you notice in one click, very smartly, Flashfill is looking at my email ID and it is separating the name and the surname like this. If you had used formulas here, it would have become very, very difficult to do it. As a matter of fact, you could have done it with the formula because the case is changing when the surname is starting, but it would have been a very difficult formula. Flashfill can also separate numbers and text values. So I can say USD, press Ctrl E to separate all the currency, and then 300 and Ctrl E to separate all the numbers. In addition to separating different values and extracting different values, Flashfill can also do reversal. For example, if you want to change the position of the last name and the first name, I can simply write Smith James, and in one Control E, you notice that the position of the first name and last name have been swapped. You can even replace, which means that rather than using a substitute, you can use Flashfill. I can replace my space with a, or rather my comma with a space, and it will give me the result like this. If I put an underscore, then my space and my comma will be replaced with an underscore. Flashfill can also change the case. So if I write James Smith, it gives me uppercase. And obviously, if I want the lowercase, I can write James Smith and it gives me the lowercase. As a matter of fact, you can write the first name in uppercase and the surname in lowercase, and you get a mixed result like this. So here's the example. If you want to write the first name like this, but for some reason you want the surname to be in uppercase, you can get the result like this. Now, when you have a slightly more tricky problem, you notice that when I put 300 and control E, it doesn't work perfectly. The reason is because in some of the results, the number is as the suffix, and in some of them, the numbers is the prefix. Whenever this happens, you have to give at least two samples, and now you notice you get the result despite the fact that sometimes the number was in the beginning and sometimes it was at the end. If you have an even more complicated problem, when I put 300 and 289, you notice that I'm getting all the results, but it is always giving me the number 300. Wait a second. It is giving me 300, 9020, 234. So do you see what is happening? Wherever there are two numbers available, it is always preferring to choose the first one, not the second one. But we can train Excel to not pick up the first one, but the second one. So if I write 300 and 123, this time you notice that wherever there is a choice between two numbers, it is always picking the second one like this. Now, how do you learn how to train Flashfill? So there is no guidebook on this. You will only learn it the more you practice. Not every time will you get the result that you like, but if you don't get the result that you like, make sure to give it some more examples. So far, we have used Flashfill to be able to extract different portions of a value, but we can always use it for concatenation. So I can write Alden, USA, 6, 3 zeros in one, and in one click, it concatenates my entire three columns into a single column. We can also use it for adding dashes in the middle. So if I say 14 dash 19 dash 3618, in one click, you notice we get the result. For some reason, the last one is not working. Let me see why that could be the case. Not to worry, we'll give it one more sample, 6784, and you notice, wait a second. So let me do that once again. We press Ctrl E and okay, we're not getting the result. What could be the reason for this? Let me think. Okay, I can't think of anything at the moment. So for now, we'll just skip the last value. There must be something wrong with the data format. And of course, you can always use it for padding. So if I write 1, 4, let's say X, 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 and then 1, 8, and I give it one more sample, 4, 9, X, 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 and 0, 7, you notice that, remember we had done this example earlier and it required quite a lot of effort. We can do the same thing by using a single shortcut, which is Control E. So it's a fantastic tool. It can work with very large data sets as well. Please be aware of the limitations. One limitation would be that Flashfill is not dynamic. So if any change happens to the original data set, the result will not get updated. If you add more records, again, the result will not get updated. As long as you're aware of these two limitations, Flashfill is a wonderful tool, and you should definitely keep this tool in your arsenal if you want to be an analyst who does a lot of data cleaning work.